Hi everyone, I'm back with another Akashic Story Time. Now, what is Akashic Story Time? It's exactly what it sounds like, and it's a story of somebody's soul history. And I started doing my readings a little bit differently lately. I started really working more closely with the energies of Yeshua and Mary Magdalene and their daughter Sarah, Sahar, Sarah, whatever you want to call it, as a trinity, as an energy source for all the information. And I feel that it is very easy to then get the information when it comes to soul mission, when it comes to purpose blocks, pains, and how to really transmute these on planet Earth, how to really turn them um, into gifts, into something, into lessons. So today I did a reading for a beautiful soul. And what immediately came through is that her higher self showed herself as sitting in this bubble. And around her was this whole storm that was taking place. So this entire chaos was erupting around her, and her higher self gave her the message to stay just and be, just to be in this bubble, basically, and to just sit and observe everything that was happening around her. So that is what came through, which is very difficult for most people to do. After that, I was shown the history of the soul. This is, of course, just a very brief just story, because this reading, I have it here on my recorder, is 1 hour and 7 minutes long that I recorded for this person. So, of course, when you get these readings, you get all the details of how everything is interconnected. And she had a lifetime in Lyra. And in Lyra, she was a sort of elemental being, a fairy type of being that was androgynous. I had never seen this before. I've only ever seen people have incarnations as the typical feline Lyran beings or the elven Lyran beings, the humanoid beings. So she was a smaller sized elemental type of fairy being that was androgynous in nature, and she worked with energy, with sound healing, and I could see how the trees were responding to her presence, to the sounds that she was generating, and the trees were kind of pulsing with energy back and forth, responding to the sound, and she was just responsible of harmonizing the environment. Now, this life did not end well, and she died in the reptilian war that was happening at the time within the galaxy, where they attacked Lyra. After that, she had a lifetime as a Pleiadian woman, where she was working with large groups of people, and she purposely chose to incarnate in the female polarity. And this is something she would go back and forth quite frequently between male and female as the lifetimes accumulated. So in the Pleiades, she was using this energy, this harmonizing energy to really recalibrate people's chakra systems. And we see this coming back in Atlantis. She was doing this by working as a male priest. And I saw this very masculine society, the typical golden big temples with a lot of bright colors. But this was during the fall of Atlantis, and she was taken advantage of, and that caused her to not trust other people, to not really want to relinquish control over to other people, which is a wound that was still showing up in this lifetime. And there were lifetimes as an oracle in Greece as well. And you may think, wow, why is it that we only see these crazy, flamboyant, witchy priestess, whatever lifetimes in an Akashic Records reading? Well, you have had probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of past lives. And the thing is, when people come to an Akashic Records reader because they want to get answers, what's blocking me in my relationships? What's blocking me in my work? These are people that are on a spiritual mission of their own. And the majority of the lessons are going to be, of the trauma is going to be in those lifetimes where they were exactly doing that, their spiritual work. So the mundane average lifetimes, they do come up, but they will not come up as much as the lifetimes where you were practicing that soul medicine and where something traumatic happened, or where you were perfectly in alignment doing this thing so that you can get empowered to see yourself again in that way. However, there was also a farmer lifetime where she was a farmer in France, and where she deliberately chose to live a normal life, to not be intuitive, to just do a 3D hard-working life on a farm. And gradually she got older and her body deteriorated from all the hard physical labor. And I saw her as a very old man with bunions on her feet, with like arthritis in her hands. And she said, don't swap one type of pain for another type of pain, because you're trying to do this to be safer, and in the end you're still suffering. So the message is, be who you came here to be, and don't be afraid, don't play small, because you're just going to suffer in another way in the end anyway. Now, there were a whole bunch of lifetimes like this that I'm not going to get into, but yeah, this was a very interesting lifetime. And the reason why we will see more of these Earth lifetimes compared to our Atlantean lifetimes, despite the fact that Atlantis was a period of time that was way, way, way longer in duration than our timeline, the history of our time as we know it, starting in the year 0, is because we were in a descension cycle after the fall of Atlantis, basically, and that is the majority of the energy that we're healing right now. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little Akashic story. And if you are interested in diving into your Akashic records, into seeing how you can heal your wounds, the patterns that are coming up, the things that you need to embrace, then let me know, because I would love to assist you on your Akashic records journey. Bye bye.